Hi guys, John here again with another video. Today I'm talking to Bobdub, who I've met through some of Roger's streams, and she was a guest on our Old Men's Talking episode 2 a few days ago. And so the best thing is if I go let Bob introduce herself and what she is about, because I would probably muck it up if I try to explain it. So over to you.
Hey, John, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's so good to be here. So, yes, I am from New Zealand. I live on an avocado and kiwi fruit orchard, and I do various jobs around the orchard. And I have three cats, and they come with me. And because it's fun, I started taking videos of them in the orchard, and then I started talking and I have various little different shows that I do. I have a YouTube channel which is more about me and my own personal journey. And then it's little videos that I've been making with some of my friends where they've been talking and I've been taking graphics and music and compiling little videos. So it's for entertainment, for fun, and for practice, for me to practice because I'm self-taught. So that's on YouTube. And then I also have a channel over on Rumble where we do more political stuff. So we have a 10 minutes show, which we do once a week, which is called That Was the Week That Was. And we just look back at a few current events and talk about things from a alternative centrist point of view. Then we have two live streams, one where we dig into New Zealand politics and where we're going because we've just had a very big and quite interesting election, and the other which is on more sort of spirituality and philosophy. So yeah, that's sort of a little summary of what I do.
What you, that's quite a lot, isn't it? um, right. So as I said earlier, I've seen the streams with you and Roger and Karma, so I know your background, but trauma wise, but I don't want to go into that today, unless of course you want to. But I don't want to bring that up, because I don't think it's. But I know from the trauma you've had, it's sort of awakened your spirituality, and if that's okay with you, would you be able to say how it sort of all started about? I know we've had rough rides, so to speak, in life. I know, but if you want to tell us about that.
Um, well, I think that it is interesting with trauma, with things that are hard in your life. There is this need for things to be meaningful and for you to feel that like I'm suffering and I'm going through this, but there's a reason. Just something good will come out of it, and I feel that for me, a lot of my sort of spiritual searching has been to find that sort of meaning and to find a thing that I can. People always say like you grow.
Mm.
If you have hard times, you grow. And I always think, well, that's great, I'm growing, yay, but what for? So
Mm.
I think that the spiritual thing for me is that I want to be useful. I want there to be something that I can do because I'm able to identify with people who have had trauma like me. Because I grew up in a very privileged family, not rich at all, but just with a lot of kindness, a lot of compassion, parents who really sacrificed themselves for their children. All five of us have university degrees. We were given a very good, stable um, childhood with a lot of really good parenting. And sorry, I don't know why that was relevant. Oh yes. So I've met a lot of people since I've had my issues. I've met a lot of people who didn't have the good start that I had,
Yeah.
and they haven't been able to recover from their trauma because they haven't had that early childhood teaching. So it's coming to a place for me where I feel that maybe there's a reason why I fell out of my life. Maybe there's something that I can offer to other people. That yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it's little. It's you know, I was listening to your interview that you did with Roger about
Yeah.
spirituality, and I was absolutely captivated by it. What an interesting guy he is.
Mm.
And then afterwards, I complimented him and said and said I'd enjoyed the video. And he said, "Oh no, I'm kind of embarrassed talking about spiritual things." And I thought, "Oh, okay." And now I'm here sitting with you, and I think, "Wow, I suddenly feel all embarrassed talking about these things. They're kind of really
Yeah.
personal, aren't they?"
Yeah, it is. It is, I suppose. Yeah. Some people,
Yeah.
I suppose, don't find it personal, but it is personal. Yeah, it
Mm.
definitely is. You know, I understand that, and it's
I
takes
think with
takes a lot to
trauma,
sort
you
of.
know, there's so many people who face trauma. Everybody in the world has their traumas, you
Yeah.
know, everybody has their personal tragedy. And 90% of them just plow through it
Yeah.
and get over it. And then there's some of us who don't. There's some of us who sort of plunge out.
Yeah.
And there's a level of shame to that, I think. That's it's a little bit different when you get post-traumatic stress disorder or you
Yeah.
get one of these things. And um, yeah, you go down a slightly different path.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. Well, back to the interview saying about Roger, but Roger was like he was trying to get blood out of a stone and talk about spirituality. But I was more touched by the interview than most of them. It really was. I just something about that, and people were commenting about it as well. They loved him. They loved it, the way what he said and stuff like that. And it's yeah, but yeah, I understand that you know it could be you could feel like I don't know what the word is. Like, did you say you felt like ashamed of it, or what you something like that? You said I can understand that,
Mm,
but I also think even though people do, and I probably have myself in different ways, we shouldn't. But we sort of I think it's society that makes us feel like that sometimes. You know, they say yeah, you should stiff up a lip. Come on, get over it. But you can't. I mean, everyone's on their own clock. You know, might take one person say 10 years to get over something, and that next person might go through the same thing. It might take them 20 years to get it. Everyone's their own. There's no set time. There's no. But I think the thing to do is to try and get over it, get beyond it if you can, if it's in your nature to do that. You
yes.
know.
Yes.
And I think some people are sort of stuck in their traumas in their past, maybe for all their life, and maybe that's the path they have to take. But I think if you can get past it, I think it's good for you as a spiritual being if you can. I do think that. But there we go.
I do think so too. I agree with you 100%, Roger. You know, it's no fun getting stuck.
Yeah,
Like the whole point of going on the journey is that you're going to the other side.
yeah,
When you get to a place when you're floundering around and you can't go forward, it is actually very painful. And I think that one of the things that's one of the significant things that I have learned from Buddhism and meditation. I've been a Christian all my life, although I don't know if I should say that. I don't know if I've been a Christian. I've been an Anglican all my life.
yeah.
That seems to be significantly different from what a Christian is at the
All
moment.
right.
Um, so I've been an Anglican, and I've always had this idea that our lives are are special. You know, we were given this extraordinary gift of life. We didn't deserve it. We don't deserve to be forgiven. We don't deserve. I always think, you know, God could have made an earth, and he could have made all the flowers yellow, and it would have worked. You know, the bees would have come along and they would have pollinated and everything had worked.
Yeah,
But he didn't. He made all the different colors. And so we're just sort of surrounded by this abundance and this uh, undeserved opportunity to experience these things. So that was my childhood, but over my life, you know, and the disappointments that I've suffered, I sort of lost confidence in God.
Yeah.
I had this idea that God was going to protect me, and if I was good, God was going to make sure that nothing bad happened to me.
Hmm.
And so it's been hard struggling and thinking, why did God let things happen to me? Not
Yeah.
that person or that person, but what did I do wrong? So there was a big crisis of faith.
Yeah.
And at that time that I was really, really deep in that crisis of faith, somebody reached out to me and answered one of my videos and said to me, "You're sounding quite Buddhist." And that was very interesting to me, that somebody had come to me and offered me this alternate perspective. And so I asked them more and engaged with them. And the more I found out about Buddhism, the more I was blown away by how profoundly psychological it is and how really, really sound it is as a practice. Hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't know much about, I don't know anything about Buddhism. It sort of interests me. I read posts, but I don't really know much about it. But I was going to say
Me
something, and it's
neither.
gone out of my head. What was I going to say? Oh God. Yeah. You said about a crisis of faith. Something
Mm,
happened to me. I don't want to say too much about myself. I'm only saying about myself in as much as to give an example how I share what you might have gone through in a tiny way. Years
mm,
ago, I was healing a lot of people. I had a big healing circle of people I was helping, and the COVID had just come along, and I had a dream that me and my family were protected in a bubble from people coughing around me and stuff like that. So I took that to mean that I wasn't going to get COVID, and of course I got COVID, and I had it for like 2 weeks, and it quite bad, but I didn't get to the.
mm,
I was on the point where I could have been hospitalised, but something like got through me through it, and I didn't. I was okay. I got past it, and that caused me a lot of like saying, "Well, why did that happen? I know
mm,
out here doing
mm,
your work, and why did this happen?" And I was really angry about it for a while. I didn't heal for about 18 months after it. I was so angry,
right.
you know.
Mm,
And then I suddenly
mm,
realised
mm,
my ego was taken off because I was helping all these people. And once I realised that, I thought, "Oh my God, that makes so much sense," because it brought me down to earth, and it grounded me and where I needed to be. And I moved on from it now, and it's fine. But getting back to what I know, you've been through, say some horrible things, but when if you look at us as we're like a piece of clay, and all our experiences in life like mold us to become a person that, even though it's obviously horrible what you went through, they help shape the person that you are today. And
yeah.
that's the way I can put it into words, if that makes sense. It's
Yes, it does.
even the crisis of faith, even that, everything shapes you into the person you are today. All like leads to what you are now. It's all like steps, of becoming the person you are.
Absolutely.
That's my
Yes.
my view on it. If that makes sense.
Yes. Yes, I think I think that's an important task, shall I say, of growing older, is
Yeah,
to take all these sort of things that have happened to you and bring them all together into
yeah,
a cohesive story of me. I think that's why so many people, when they retire, write a book, because it's like, what have I learned? What did I get out of this life?
yeah,
And I do think that these crises are not okay. Sometimes it's very hard. Well, it's always hard to have a crisis,
yeah,
obviously. But like you say, it adds something to you.
yeah,
I heard a story once about the American Wild West, when they used to make the big wagon wheels for the carts, those
yeah.
big carts they traveled in. Is that the wagon makers, the wheel makers, would look for the most bent and gnarly tree that they could find to make the wheels out of,
All
because
right.
that tree had been in the wind for so long and had been blown around so much that the wood had grown flexible. So they could take the piece of wood and they could heat it and bend it into this perfect circle.
Mm.
Whereas if you get a nice, straight, tall tree that's all looks beautiful and it's never had any problems,
Yeah.
its wood is brittle as, and it can't. Yeah, so that's been quite a good metaphor, I think, for,
Oh yeah, it's
yeah.
just the same thing. That tree, that battered tree, was just what
Mhm.
that person was looking for. You know, it's I think the same with
Yes.
people as well. You know, people can identify with other people because they think, oh, they've been through this, they've been through that. I can relate to them. I can, you know, talk to these people because they've been through it. But as
Mm.
you say, someone who hasn't been through nothing in life, you think, well, how can I talk to
Mhm.
this person? It's the same, you know.
Mhm.
It's just um,
Yeah. Yeah.
because even myself, the traumas I've been through, they've shaped the person I am today. Even though I wish things had been different in some respects, yes, but
Yes.
in to make me the person I am today, no, I wouldn't change them in that sense. But obviously, I wish they didn't happen. Of course, wish I could have
Yes.
become the person I am today in a different way. Yeah, of course,
In
you
a
know, you don't
different
want,
way. Yes.
you know,
Yes.
but
Yes.
um, that's my view on it.
We
You
don't
know,
get to choose that. Yeah, you don't get to choose,
you don't get to choose.
unfortunately.
No,
Yeah.
no, no, it's a
Yeah.
shame. So
But it is interesting because there does seem to be I don't know, with your healing experience and your spirituality, do you feel that you are sort of drawn to specific people? I find now that I seem to meet people who really want to talk about things.
yeah,
And before things had gone wrong for me, I didn't have enough patience to listen. But now that I've been through it, I'm able to realize, wow, yeah, I was like that. I really needed to vent, and you can really help somebody heal just by giving them your ear and your time.
yeah. Well, yeah, you can heal people, and you can heal people just by, yeah, like you say, giving your time and talking to them. That sometimes can be the
Mm.
most subtle way of doing it. You know, can be
Yes.
done as well, of course.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
as I said to you before, when I saw your interview with Roger first, I was instantly drawn to try and reach out to you and stuff. I didn't, but I instantly felt that I should have, but because I didn't know you and you didn't know me, I just thought it's a bit, Well, obviously as
Yes.
time has gone on and we've talked a few times on different shows and stuff, it's sort of a different, we're comfortable to speak to you now, like, of course,
Yeah. Well, okay, I met you in a quite a strange way in my life. I had I have been I met by chance a Christian healer who healed through prayer.
Right,
And she prayed for me,
right,
and I was feeling all sorts of really physical feelings, physical
yeah,
sensations of pain.
okay,
But not from pain, just from my suffering, my
yeah,
unhappiness. I was having these physical, and she managed to um, pray and get them to go, and that just stunned me. It just I mean, I've heard of miracles,
yeah,
but I didn't think that I would get a miracle. Like,
yeah,
why me? You know? And then I got this miracle.
yeah,
Anyway, it was amazing to me. But I've also said that I had this very, very dear person who has helped me understand the ways that Buddhism meditation practice.
yeah,
And not just meditation, but the type of thinking that you do in meditation. I think that's the thing for me. For me, meditation was sitting with your eyes closed, but
yeah,
learning that there were these ways of thinking and ways that I could use my mind and build self-control and a good attitude and things like that.
yeah.
Anyway, so this Christian lady took offense at me having a Buddhist friend. And long story short, they told me that Buddhism was a demonic religion.
I know.
And that
Just
was just
say
like,
stuff like that, don't I?
I
Ridiculous.
mean, that's not Christianity to me.
No,
So I'd
it's not.
experienced this miracle and I'd experienced this amazing healing. and I was just overwhelmed with this gratitude towards God and them. And then to run into this sort of brick wall that was like a sort of I'm not going there. I can't go back to that church. I can't go to a place that calls the most peaceful religion in the whole world demonic.
Yeah. As I
So
said,
I was sorry.
yeah, go on, you, Karen.
uh, I was the rug had been pulled out from under my feet. I didn't know where to go. And sort of in the next week after that had happened, and I was still floundering around, I heard the interview between you and Karma, the discussion you and Karma, where you explained your journey into healing.
No.
And that for me was like another miracle. Like here I had been told that miracles were only for Christians. You had to toe the line and you had to behave like this. And then I met you and I asked you, like, could you help me? And like you said, yes. So for me, it's also been like another thing. Like it hasn't been simple. It hasn't been easy. It's been this long and twisted and difficult path. But it's come to this place where I sort of feel that by knowing you, I have hope again.
Yeah.
I feel, yeah.
Yes. It's nice.
So I'm quite looking forward to this sort of collaboration between us, this sort of healing relationship that we're
Yeah, I was
sort of
just going to
embarking on.
say, just in case, because some people, they can get offended by things, I'll just say what I've said to you before. I believe all religions can lead you to God, to the source, if they be whatever religion it is. And, because some people are steadfast Christians, you can't be anywhere else, like this person that said what they said to you. It was not a very nice thing to do, because obviously this person has got an ability, because she helped you, and yet she's so close-minded. I just can't
Isn't
believe
it
that. It's
weird?
really, because like my next door neighbour here, he's a Mormon, one of the nicest guys you ever met. I don't, he doesn't dismiss the way where I am, and I don't dismiss the way he is, because he's really very highly spiritual. He's a healer,
Yes.
and yet, if I went by what I used to be told in a Christian church, oh no, they you can't, and yet he's a real man of God. You can't deny it, by speaking to him. And yet, if I was trying to stick to this view, the steadfast view, all religions, no, you can't. You've got to be this one, and it's
Yeah.
all wrong, They
Yeah.
should be more open. People like that should be open, because there's many ways to get to the source.
Absolutely. I agree with you so much. If there's God, if there's one God, there's sort of like the sort of universe around us is because God's meant to be omnipotent and omnipresent.
Yeah.
So if it's omnipresent, then he's right here, right next to us, sort of like wherever there's air, there's God sort of thing. Yeah. So like, how then, if God has made this universe with all these people in it, and he's made himself to be so close to these people, then why doesn't he want some of them? How is that logical, that he wouldn't want to be close to some of them?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Like,
It's like, like you've got some natives on islands who've never seen outside world, or civilized world, or so they call it. Are they not going to go to heaven because they've never met, been a Christian, never been a Muslim, or what I mean? There's no, doesn't make sense, does it? You know what I mean?
in that,
I
no.
have a viewpoint where you've got to be in this one, or you don't get up there. It's just totally, I don't like it at all myself.
No. Also, that thing that they say in Christianity, that they always quote as a thing that you have to believe like Christians.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, Christianity is a very important thing for me.
Of course, yeah.
And it's a very, very important part of my historical beliefs. I've got a lot of structures in my mind that are built around Christianity. So I'm not dissing it at all.
Yeah, same with me, yeah.
I'm just acknowledging that I have problems with some ways that it's interpreted. Yeah. And one of the ways that I think is very wrong is that there's the little saying that they all quote, that nobody comes to the Father except through the Son. And then they say that you have to believe in Jesus if you want to have God. But that's not what it says.
Yeah.
It doesn't say nobody comes to the Father except by believing in the Son.
Mm.
It's like what the Son did by loving, what the Son did by loving us was enough
Mm.
to offer us forgiveness and offer us salvation. We don't need to do anything to get that. It's all been done for us.
Yeah.
And like whether you believe in Jesus or not, that is still the main principle of God.
Mm.
He made us, he loves us, he values us. And so like who are we to sort of second guess what his nature is?
Yeah. The thing is, religions are man-made. That's the thing about them.
Yes.
They all can lead to God and stuff. Yes, they can, but they are man-made, and so whoever created them probably thought, "Right, this has got to be the way. This is the only way we're going to get there," and
Yeah.
and that's with some anyway, I should say, and that's perhaps where this come from, I suppose, over the
Mm.
centuries and stuff. But
It's so weird to me that these good, lovely, wonderful people can have these really silly
yeah,
like flaws, like weaknesses or negative. I suppose it's just another thing that I'm learning, just to be
yeah.
tolerant and accepting of everybody.
Well, I
Yeah.
was in a religion back in '85, and I went it very deep. And the reason I came out of
Mm.
it is because I felt that I developed in myself enough that this was just not me. It was holding me back. It was restricting me, and I've gone way beyond um, through healing and different ways. My walk with the source God, whatever you believe,
Yes.
now than I ever would if I'd have stayed in there. I never, you know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
because
Yes.
it was like so it was like I wouldn't like be say I went to interview a Mormon or a Muslim. They wouldn't have that. They say, "Oh no, you can't do that. You can't do that." You know what I mean? They wouldn't understand that. It's just totally
Yeah.
um, stuff like that, you know. So I knew that I had to leave there, and I did, and it was the best thing I did. I didn't um,
Yes.
it didn't like think. I never regretted it because I knew it was I had to do it. You know, I had to go find my own
Mm.
path, which is what I did, and
Yes.
much greater than I would have done if I
It's
stayed in
hard
there.
though. Didn't you find it hard? It's hard to leave.
Um, well, sort of what drew me out of there was a
Mm.
friend of mine. I met a long time friend of mine. I sort of met him again. I went out like on a few beers and stuff with him, and
Mm.
even that was frowned upon. I wasn't allowed to drink, but I did. And I thought to myself, well, I can't, you know, I can't carry on. And it just that sort of drew me out of there. And now I don't even drink or anything now at all. But that's what sort of started it. I think it's what I needed to sort of get me some sort of
Mm.
focus to get out, you know. And I ended up going out and drinking for the next 4 years after, just to sort of get myself balanced. I think with everything was going on, and I settled
Right.
down a bit then,
Right.
you know, and
Mm.
went from there. But
Mm.
I went really deep into it, very deep into it, into myself. You know, I was hallucinating, all sorts of stuff was going on.
Gosh,
Uh,
hey.
but yeah, I don't regret it at all.
Mm.
No, because maybe because before I went into it, I used to be terrified of dying and everything. It was awful, you know. I mean, I could lie in bed every night terrified about dying, and now I don't
Right.
care
Right.
now. I'm not
Mm.
worried about that at all. You know what I mean? I'm worried about it at all. But
Yes.
just say it did change
Yes.
me for the best, you know. So
Yes.
that's led to
Yes.
what I'm doing now. I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't have gone through that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely wouldn't have known.
Interesting. Yes. Hmm.
So
Yeah, no, it is the journey of life is very strange. Very strange.
mm. So yeah, don't know what to say. No, mine's gone blank. It never goes blank.
Oh, right.
God.
Well, so what church are you with now, Roger?
I'm not with any church now.
Oh, you don't have a group of
No,
well, oh
no,
really?
no. I haven't been in any church since 1985. I suppose you could call me freelance.
Right.
Freelance,
Right,
yeah.
right. Yeah.
Um, I sort of I don't. I go to a spiritualist church, but I'm not like I
Mm.
don't really come with spiritual. I don't like label myself anything. Just I am what I am, you know.
Mm.
But
I think it's a very interesting time that we are alive. I think that we've realized that the Christian church, the priests and that,
yeah,
they kind of they made some logical errors in their whatever preachy stuff there was. And
yeah,
it stopped meeting our needs. And I think that we're in this great big melting pot now where we are really coming to terms with the fact that we do experience God. I think our generation sort of walked away a lot from belief in quite a serious way with nihilism and those sort of philosophical things
yeah,
that we've had in our education and our background and everything. And it's been quite hard also, I think, being the generation of people who have really embraced divorce.
yeah,
We listened to all the things the scientists told us about, or the psychologists told us about how you didn't need to live in one house, you could have children in two homes and it would be just as good, and this all these pipe dreams. And now we're getting old and we realize that that was all wrong.
mm,
And actually, our kids are pretty darn messed up. And
yeah,
all these sexual identities and these trans people and these horrible children mutilations and all of that. I mean, those are our children and grandchildren. And
yeah,
that's the result of this misadventure that we have had with relationships and everything. So I do think that people like you and I are sitting down and having these discussions and trying to find a way that we can move forward and support each other and build some sort of unity between us where we can talk about these concepts, because up until now, as you said before, there's been this rivalry
yeah,
between different religions. You're
yeah,
doing it wrong, and no, you do it, and our way is this. Yeah.
yeah.
So we're getting to a new place.
I think if the world religious leaders sort of said, "Hang on, no, we shouldn't be in competition with each other," and just joined hands and say, "Right, we're all one," it would do this world so much good. I know it'll never
Yes,
happen, but it would do this world so much good.
yes, yes.
I think it would
I've
be
got a
like
very, very
life changing, you
sorry.
know. But
Mm.
then we go. It's probably not going to ever happen, you know. It's a shame.
Yeah. I've got a really great friend on minds.com called Chris Dogood, and
Right,
he reckons that what we need to do is we need to put all the religious books into the AI and get the
right.
AI to compare it all and pull out all the things that are the same,
Oh wow.
all the sort of like the great truths that we as people all have, you know.
Oh, that's been interesting.
Yes, isn't it
Yeah, it
interesting?
is. Yeah.
And make it one book that was just, and he says, like, all the bits where we don't agree on,
Mm.
well, those are obviously bits where we were wrong. But all the bits where we do agree, well, that could be just taken as evidence for the fact that, like, different people from different countries and different ages all come to these conclusions. So, there's probably some deep truth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. I think there's truth in every. If you had time to study every religious book, I think you'd
Mm,
find something that really resonates with. Oh, that really
yes,
means something to me. Every one you would. I'm sure you would, because there is. It is linked to to God. Of course, they all are. They are, but they're just. As I said,
yes,
because man is writing them. He's writing to say
that's
from
right.
a
Yes,
man a view of life from 2,000 years ago or 3,000 years ago, whenever the different books are wrote. So obviously his outlook is going to be different, say, from a person from 2020 outlook if they wrote it now.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes, Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
and I'm not sure how I know, but I've got a belief that there's more new souls on the earth now than there's ever been before, which obviously affects things because new souls tend to be like they don't know wrong and right so much as we do because they've never experienced it. They just don't know what it is. Then they got to learn it. They know it when they're on the other side, but they don't learn it here.
Right,
They have to learn it.
right.
And so I think that's why
Yes.
you get so much people mucked up in the world, because they haven't got the
Mm,
structure like older generation has to sort of
yes.
guide them and stuff. So I think
Yes.
that's just my own personal philosophy. I don't know if that's true. I've led to believe that. Um,
Well, I can't. It's fascinating that you say that. I haven't heard that before,
yeah,
but it really resonates with me. I can see that because if we have come to this place where we're sort of at the end of one age
yeah,
and at the beginning of the new age, then it would make sense that you would have a lot of young souls
yeah,
at a new beginning. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. Hmm,
yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I've never said that in public before, but it's one of the things,
that's
many things
brilliant.
I don't share usually is that. I just felt right today to share it.
Thank you.
Because
Yeah,
years
good.
ago I did a lot of meditating and went to a lot of different places, different dimensions, stuff like that, and I still haven't really shared a lot of that now because I just think people aren't
Mm.
ready to hear it. Or some of the stuff I saw, it's a bit out
Yeah.
there, some of the stuff, and
Mhm.
but still, one day maybe. But yeah, so I don't know why I keep
Absolutely.
getting uh, sidetracked today. Normally, when I start talking, it's just like, ooh, just starts and before you know it, an hour's gone. But today, it's like, oh, I've got to keep stopping. It's not all bad. But it's just like, I
Oh,
think because
well.
we're both giving each other food for thought, you know what I mean? So you said, oh, I've got to think about that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's
Yeah.
just really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It is interesting. It is interesting. And I think, yeah, I think that it's good to have these discussions. I think that it's good to be able to be in a place where you can. I was just saying to one of my friends earlier today, I was saying we were talking about both of us have had battles with mental illness and we've both been in the mental health system.
yeah,
And we were saying how doing videos together has really helped us know how to talk
yeah,
because we had this idea that there was something wrong with us.
yeah,
And so we were afraid to talk. And now we've done it for a year together and we're learning to trust each other. I mean,
mm.
I know that it sounds silly that you would take a year to trust each other, but when you have had trauma things, it does take a little while
Yeah,
to
it just,
build up.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
And it's nice to be in a place where you can share things that you don't really share with other people. You can say, "What is this thing?"
Yeah,
and, and have it accepted. I think that's the most important thing, is to be able to say your truth
mm.
and for your truth to be part of the great tapestry of life.
Yeah,
Because every little bit is important. I like to think of us as pages of a book.
yeah,
There's so much talk of hierarchy and success and achievement and what have you done in your life and what is your career and who are you? And we have this idea that there are some lives that are more worthy than other lives.
yeah,
But when you think of each person as a page in a book, the words on the page can each tell a different story.
yeah,
One can tell a more interesting story, or one can tell a more normal, boring, ordinary story. One can tell a wonderful, joyful story. But
mm.
without that page, that book isn't complete.
There's tapestry um, in there's like different layers of spiritual dimensions. And there's like a level where you say that people, alcoholics, even murderers, stuff like that, they're still pretty much on the plane where we are. They're still going around looking for that sensation in their life, but what they had for alcohol, they look for it, and then it gets to a stage
Right.
where they can't get it enough, and then they go up to the second dimension. So they're not, it's not hell. It's not hell with people that, it's not like that. And
Mm-hmm.
second dimension is where people who want the heaven of, say, being in a family home and being with their families and stuff like that. That's with it. That's for the
Mm-hmm.
second dimension. Now the third dimension, I think it's the third or fourth. This is a bit I get mixed up on. Is where the interesting stuff is. That's where people go
Mm-hmm.
who really want to progress. They want to thirst for knowledge and stuff like that. And I think it's on the third one where there's a tapestry, and on that tapestry there's like different threads, and every thread on that tapestry is a human being's life. And the people
Wow.
who've done a huge lot in their lives will have a thicker thread than others, and others just everything. And that's you've said about tapestry, and that's why I remembered that. And also there, and I focused on
Yes.
it, and I know it's there, is a healing temple. So where a
Oh.
person goes when they die, they go there to heal. Even if they go to the lower levels from there, they go there to heal. But a person from Earth can also access it. You can access it from meditation. You could do it. I've done it. I know that's it
Wow.
because I've done it. It's a
Really?
healing temple is called. And they know when you're there, they know that you're still on this planet because you've got your silver cord. You're still connected. They can see the connection. But the people that go there who have passed over, obviously, they say they haven't got the silver cord because it's been severed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you could if you when you're meditating, maybe think about focusing on that and seeing if you connect to it. Because I have. I tried the other day and I connected almost straight away. I couldn't believe it. I thought, wow.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't tried since, but it's there.
Gosh.
There's also they call it. I've read. I haven't been able to connect to that properly yet. Asaki Records or something, where there's like books of
Oh.
all the knowledge of everything is on there. But I have not been able to access that myself yet. But I know that it exists. But I haven't been able to. I sort of did once, and I had no real questions. It was like I don't know what to ask.
Yes.
Like every
Oh.
question, every answer to every question you could ever want is there. And
It's
you got to
there.
connect to it. But I haven't been able to yet. There's different ways I read about it. You've got to some sort of meditation to get there. Or I just haven't,
Hmm.
haven't done that yet. But I know that it exists.
Gosh, interesting. So
Yeah, I
I
know.
heard of that. I've heard of that thing, that Akashic record, or
Yeah.
whatever it's
Can't
called.
remember how you pronounce
I
it.
heard
Yeah,
of it
begins
just
with A.
recently in the last few months.
Yeah,
And the thing that fascinated me was the guy who was telling me about it said that you can travel back and forth in time
yeah,
through this Akashic record. So you can go into your future and fix things, but you can also go into your past
yeah,
and fix. Yeah, I'm fascinated by that idea.
yeah. It's just that when I tried, it was like I'm going to say this out, but sounding conceited. It was just I felt like I need everything I need to know. I know it already, so I didn't need to go there. I'm happy with the knowledge I've got, so I
Right,
don't know to go there, but I
right.
just know that it
Yes,
exists. But the healing
yes.
temple, yeah, you should. I
The
think,
healing temple sounds
yeah, you should try
fabulous.
to connect to that. Try
Yes.
focus on it, and um, yeah, just see what
Yes.
happens. See if it works. I did it anyway. I connected straight away to it. I couldn't believe it. It was like almost poof.
Right away, really.
Yeah, I was
So what do
walking
you
my dog, and
do,
I
John?
connected
Do
to
you
it.
just focus on it? Do you
Yeah,
just like,
meditate and focus on it. Yeah, and just see what happens. You've nothing to lose.
hmm,
you know. Um, yes, that was
yeah,
being the
sounds
third
interesting.
tier, and then after that, I think where angels are. Then and it goes from there up. Then I'm not quite sure. Not, it's a bit
Mm,
cloudy that knowledge from there on. I've
hmm.
access up to the third tier, but from there on, I don't think I've gone above that, so I don't really know too much about it. It goes from there.
Gosh. I haven't done much of that sort of meditation. The
No,
meditation that I've sort of been involved with or learning about for the last year, shall we say,
yeah,
is the Thai forest tradition.
right,
So the Buddhism spread throughout Asia, but then in each little area that it went to, different teachings got developed and got used by different monks. So this Thai forest tradition is one where it really promotes trying to concentrate. It's it's the one where you focus on your breath
Yeah.
And every time your mind starts wandering, you just quietly bring your mind back again to your breath and see how many breaths you can actually do
Yeah.
before your mind wanders. And the teaching, I suppose, that I've really enjoyed from these monks, this tradition, is that pain is a part of life. We
Mm.
live in this physical realm, accidents happen, and accidents produce pain. But suffering is not inevitable, even though pain is inevitable. And the difference is that suffering is what happens in our mind in response to the pain.
Yeah.
One of the ways, apparently, that the Buddha explains it, he says, is if you get shot with an arrow, don't pick up another arrow and start stabbing yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
That's really
oh,
good.
I got an arrow in me. That's so bad.
Yeah. That's really good.
And that's something that's really important to me because I've got depression. I've now got clinical depression. I've had for a few years, and one of the things with that is that your chemistry in your brain goes wrong,
Yeah.
and your pleasure pathways, and I don't know really what that means, but your pleasure pathways apparently shut down, so
Right.
you can't think positive thoughts.
Yeah.
You know, it just doesn't happen. Somebody will say to you, count your blessings, and you'll be like, well, what blessings? I don't have any blessings. My whole life's a misery.
Yeah.
So it's been for me really great using meditation as this tool to try and make myself concentrate on specific things instead of getting other arrows and stabbing myself wildly with them.
Talking about depression, I'm
Yes.
obviously grateful that I don't suffer too much of that, thank God. But one time I was really down. I was actually working
Mm-hmm.
in the bakery before I finished working there, and I thought I asked for help to get out of this frame of mind that I was in. Instantly felt like I'd been lifted, and poof, it was gone. I thought, what happened?
What?
And it was like an amazing experience, and it's never happened since. But I don't think I've even been like that since. So it just instant help, and I can't say that. I'm not going to say I don't ask for help for myself very often. As most healers do, they don't tend to ask for help for themselves. They just plod on. I don't know. But every healer I spoke to is almost the same. I don't know why that is. It's just the way our nature is. But I asked for help then, and bang, it was sorted.
Good
And
heavens.
another time I had to have due to have an operation on my foot,
Mm.
and I was sitting down in the living room, and I could sense something was going on with my foot. I thought like something was going on with it. Went to
Mm.
the hospital to see about it 2 days later, and they looked. They said, "Oh no, you'll be fine. You don't have to have an operation. It will be fine." And that was the end of that. So you know,
John, how did this start happening to you? What happened to you that you suddenly started getting these healing powers happening? Did you have a
I
particular
started.
experience?
I think you saw the interview where I said about my dog. Do you know? Did you see that bit?
No,
No.
no, I don't think
All right.
I saw
Okay.
the
Well, I
dog.
had a dog had cataracts as in my 20s.
Oh,
Something told me.
yes.
You remember that, yeah? So I won't go into
Yes,
that.
I do remember. And
Yeah.
then your eyes got funny.
Did they? Yeah, my eyes got funny after. Yes, that's right. Yeah, because I didn't
Yes.
like release it because as a healer, you take it on you and then you release it. But
Yeah.
I wasn't releasing. I didn't know how to do it back then. And then as I say, late it was about 30 years later, was it? 20 or 12 years later, my son was ill, and then it went from we took him to a healer who lives not far from where I live, who became sort of my mentor. First thing he said was, "Who was the healer in the room?" And me and my partner were there, and I said, "Well, I think it might be me." And he said, "Yes, it's you." He said, "You could be doing this," because he helped my son, healed him of his reflux. Within half an hour, my son had no more reflux, and it sort of went from there. My partner came home ill one day, and I got drawn to help her, and I did. And it's quite miraculous, really. Her temperature dropped by 2 degrees, and she had a bad throat. Her throat was fine within 10 minutes, and it sort of went from there. And that's hence when my ego sort of went through the
Right.
roof, because
Yes.
you feel like you've got a superpower then, you know what I mean?
That's
Back
right.
then.
Well, you do.
Yeah, but like as
Yes.
time goes on, I'm more grounded now, and I only go where I'm led to go now to help.
Right.
And
Right.
I
Right.
felt I was led to help you. I did say that, but generally, because people tell me that they've got this wrong and that wrong, and I say, well, if I get guided help, I will. But I wait to see what happens. Sometimes I find I'm helping someone without even knowing. I found it afterwards, a few days
Right.
after I've been helping them. It was a little
Yes.
baby who had a bad cough the other day. It was at a parents' evening. I don't know if I was guided to help him, her, but I tried to straight away. So I had to.
Mm.
If I was guided to or not, I thought I can't see a little one suffering, and I might be able to help them, so I had to try. But that was me, maybe overstepping the mark. But I can't see children around me being ill and not help. I have to try and help with
Mm.
children. That's where
Mm.
I sort of go,
Mm.
right, that's me deciding this now. I'm not having this little one ill if I can help. And I do sort of draw the line
Right.
there, you know.
Yes.
I do try
Yes.
to,
Yes.
I hate seeing children ill. I can't stand that.
Gosh. Yeah.
But
So you just get a strong sort of feeling that this is what you're drawn to do, is it? Is it like an
uh,
inner
yeah,
urge?
it's like I suppose you call it like a magnet. Like you're sort of drawn,
Ah.
like you're sort of drawn to go this way, you know. Um, my friend Ray, his wife was ill, and since I found out she was ill, I didn't even realize at the time. I started to focus on helping her, and I didn't even realize. But 3 days later, I thought, "Oh my God, she's in my mind, my thoughts. I know that I was trying to help her, and she's getting on the mend now. But of course, she's got because she's part of the church I'm in. She's got a lot of people trying to help her. So it's not just me. It's just a lot of people, because we
Mhm.
know
Mhm.
that's how we are. We sort of stick together. We got a
Mm.
healing circle. We got like a healing circle. We write names down in a book, and and the person reads them out, and we
Ah.
all focus on them. So it's quite a.
Right.
When I
Okay.
focus on it, it's like a huge pouring of healing energy going up into the sky from us. It seems like it's. I don't know how effective it is. I don't know. I don't know the people that was the names in the book, but we are trying. We do try.
Mhm.
Um,
So does it come from God, Roger? Is it an energy that
yeah,
comes
not
from
Roger.
God?
And
Uh,
John.
John, I'm sorry.
uh, he has something to say about that now when he sees this. Yeah. Well, of course, yeah. It's a soul. I could God for source, yeah, for sure. I'd say, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, and I had a vision years ago, around the time of COVID, of a huge amount of energy. I think coming from me, but I don't know if it was linked to other people or I don't know. Coming from me, directed towards a hospital in London, and I don't know what it meant. I don't know if it helps anyone. I really don't know because I
Oh,
don't know the outcome of that. But I just remember seeing it. So
wow.
I think what it was. I think as healers, we got drawn to say enough is enough. We've got to try and sort of help now. And I think it was probably a combined effort of people doing it. And I think it was shortly after the COVID started to turn around, started to drop in the UK. So I think it might have been linked to
Mm.
that. Not just me. It was like probably thousands of us doing it all at the same time. But obviously I didn't see them. But I think that's what it might have
Mm.
been. But I'm not 100. I really
Mm.
don't know about that for sure. But
So do you see yourself as sort of a conduit, a portal,
yeah, portal. Yeah, yeah.
right?
A channel it.
A
Yeah.
channel. Okay.
But it
Okay.
does take a lot out of me at times as well. Um,
Yes.
I can lose 3 to 4 pound in weight in like an hour from healing, and sometimes then
Ah.
I know I'm overweight now, but I've lost a stone in the last year. I have lost a stone, but it can do. And then you eat rubbish then, sweet stuff, because you obviously lost weight so fast. You're craving sugar. You crave. So then I maybe overeat then because I try and compensate for it. But that is part of
Sure.
one of the stages I'm going through with vibration, where I'm going beyond that now. That's part of one of the steps I'm taking is going beyond all that now, showing I don't need to do it.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Yeah, that's where I'm going now. I'm on that part now.
Mm.
So fascinating.
It's very interesting to me that you sort of I mean, we've talked between each other about doing healing,
Yeah,
you helping me to heal, but the how of that, it, it seems so big to me. I mean, you're there on one side of the planet and I'm here on the other side of the planet. It
yeah.
seems,
It's
I
crazy, isn't
mean,
it?
without quantum physics, I would say, oh, that's impossible.
Yeah. Well, you when we first connected, you as you said, you saw my presence, felt my presence, and yeah, you're one of me thousands of miles away, the other side of the world, isn't it? Couldn't
Oh,
be any further
oh,
apart, I don't
wow.
think. You know what I mean?
Yes,
It's just crazy how it
yes,
works, isn't it? You know?
yes,
Um,
yes.
it's like,
Well, it's very interesting because that first time that we talked, so
yeah.
I get a lot of sensations like burning. I
All
feel
right.
that I'm burning.
Yeah.
And that first time that we talked, I felt, and you said I'm going to try and reach you, and
Yeah.
I felt a feeling like soothing water,
Oh, that's
and
brilliant.
I
Yeah.
felt sort of like the burning receded.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
And
That's
it was only very
amazing.
small because we just had a very short
Yeah.
conversation.
It,
But it's so interesting to me now sitting here with you.
yeah.
I have gone through the same process during this chat that we've had.
All right.
I'm actually feeling really soothed and calmed and that sort of feeling of water, you know.
Yeah.
I'm having that sort of almost experience, if you like. Yeah.
I had a feeling that might happen. Not what you've just expect. I didn't expect that. No, I had a feeling that I might be try to help you, and I'm talking to you because I that has happened before. It happened with Karma when I first interviewed her. She said that she felt so calm when she was talking to me and stuff. Yeah, the
Oh,
first one.
really?
But there's a
Wow,
person I
that's
interviewed, Summer.
amazing.
She's the she's a healer, and I feel so calm when she's talking to me. I feel like almost she's healing me sometimes. You
Oh,
know. Yeah. She's such a warmth about her. You know. It's a lovely person to talk to. We talk a
she's
lot.
lovely.
Yeah,
I
she's a lovely
saw this
person.
part two of your interview with her.
Yeah, there's going to be loads more
Yeah.
parts because she's got so many
Oh,
experiences, and
really? Oh,
she's a lovely
nice.
person. Yeah, yeah. So
Gosh, that's amazing to me.
yeah,
That's really fascinating. And I mean, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I mean, it's obvious, like soothing and healing, and
yeah.
but yeah, that's
That's probably why I've gone a few times. I've run out of things to say. I think it's, I'm probably like channeling at the same time without even realizing. So I guess that's why I probably say, "Oh, I'm gonna. What am
I'm
I gonna say now?"
taking your
It's probably why
energy.
it happened. Thinking about it now, because I never get lost for words. It always just flows.
That
It just goes.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's probably why the reason on hindsight. Yeah. So
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I feel like I'm going to sleep well tonight.
yeah,
I really feel like I've got that soothing, calming.
yeah,
Yeah, it's very nice actually. It's
yeah.
thank you, John.
So I've been talking an hour. I don't know if you, do you want
Oh
anything else you want to
goodness.
say, or you?
Oh, there's so many things I want to tell you, but
We'll have to do a
we
part
have
two then, won't
talked a lot.
it? No, you can carry on if you want. I'm okay. If you, it's late for you. I'm just thinking. What is it now with you? What is it? Midnight with you now?
Um, oh yeah, it is midnight for
Yeah.
me now, and I do have an interview that I have to do tomorrow.
Right.
But maybe we could do another one,
Yeah,
John,
for
and we
sure.
could
Yeah,
explore
definitely. Yeah,
this,
like that.
yeah. And maybe, maybe over time we will, because I think that my main, like I sort of said to you earlier, it's difficult for me to connect with people.
Yeah,
And so it's really interesting to me having this conversation with you and feeling that I'm sort of building a connection with you.
yeah.
Is that's quite an interesting
Hmm.
an interesting thing that we could maybe see if that we could explore that a bit,
Yeah,
and maybe other people who battle with connection,
yeah,
might have input for us.
yeah. True.
And
Yeah. As I said, I think I said to you before. When I started these interviews, I was like led to do them. I was drawn to do them. I knew it wouldn't be good for my channel in short term because I knew it's not what my subscribers wanted to see. They want to see my ghost videos and all that, which I can't not doing anymore. But I knew that it was what I had to do. And the same with the podcast, I knew that I had to do. And
Right.
as I said to on the last, I think on my the first Old Man's Talking show, I said on there, all these videos I'm doing like now, like this one, they're all like building blocks. And what they're eventually going to build is a vehicle for where I'm supposed to go, what I'm supposed to do for a channel, and that's what it's leading to. And if you have got a chance, if you look at my channel, if you get a chance, I've changed the artwork on it yesterday. Mr. Robot helped me, and it looks much better now for what I'm doing, where I am now. If you get a chance to go look, and Mr. Robot might be my interview next week. I might be interviewing him next now, and it might be a slightly different video to normal. That's all I'm saying. People done this one like this, it might be a bit more different. I might let Mr. Robot actually. I'll interview him, but let him do the. You'll do the camera side and let him do his stuff and see where that goes. So that would be interesting. Yeah.
Interesting. Yes.
And I'm also due to interview a lady, Deborah, as she's known as on the Facebook. She's got 24,000 followers. She's a healer as well, and does readings and stuff like that. That's her job. And I'm supposed to be interviewing her at maybe the end of next week or the week after. So that might be very interesting as well. And hopefully good for the channel. I hope it'll lead to some new people, to come to watch the channel and stuff then.
Yes. Wow, exciting.
So exciting times.
Yeah.
So there we go. I'll let you go then. And
thank you so much. It's been so cool talking to you, getting to know you a bit, and I'm really looking forward to the next Old Man Talking. I love that show. Yeah,
I do as well. I don't know if you saw. I know. Have you seen? I don't expect you to watch it again. Have you actually seen any of the one that was on my channel, Old Man Talking? I know you've probably saw some of Roger's one, didn't you? Roger's stream.
John, I'm afraid to say I don't exactly know. I just click them on the chat.
Yeah, right.
Whichever, so I'm not actually sure which one.
What it is on mine, I've got like a little intro for Old Men's Talking. And an outro of it, but Roger's not used that yet. Maybe he will in the future. Maybe he doesn't want to. I don't know, because he's got his own way of doing things, But I'm just saying, I made a nice little intro. I quite like it. It gives a sort of like. Do you remember the program I was on TV years ago, like Cheers? You remember that?
Yes.
It's that sort of vibe, like Old Men Talking, like in the bar or something. That sort of vibe music, and I really like it. Otherwise, I'll share it on mine's later. I'll put it on there just to show you.
Yeah. So it's the wonderful world of weirdness, is it?
Yeah, my channel is. Yeah. If you, I'll send you the link because maybe easiest because you can find it. If you get a chance to look on the artwork and that, well, I'd appreciate any feedback because I think Mr. Over did an excellent job on it. I think it's because my old artwork was a graveyard and it's not what I'm about now. I had to change it, and even the world bit icon has changed now. He's got it like with geometry lines all over it, like ley lines. It looks amazing. And I think it's much better, much more, all part of the building blocks again. That was part of it as well.
Yes.
Yes. So there we go.
It's weird, John. I'm like this sort of like affinity isn't like growing. That's exactly the same way that I feel on my channel at the moment.
Yeah. I actually thinking back to your channel.
I feel that something is coming.
Yeah.
Something is coming.
I watched your videos. There's a few I watched now. The one is What is Love? That one. Is it What is Love? And I thought it was amazing. I loved the way you did that with the music and the camera work. I thought that was really, you got a real gift at this. You know what I mean? I really liked that. And the chap talking, he was, wow. You know what I mean? This guy's got his head screwed on. You know what I mean? He knows what he's on about, doesn't he?
He's Rush of Waves. He's the guy that told me about that Akashic record.
Right, all right. Oh, I'd like to meet him.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you should do an interview with him.
Yes, I would. Is he on YouTube? Is he on...
He's on YouTube. He's on minds.com.
He's on Minds, is he?
Yes, he's
Oh,
on
maybe
Minds, Rush of Waves.
all right.
I'll
I'll look
send
out for
you
him
his
then.
link.
I'll look out for him.
Yeah,
Or if you speak to him, you could maybe message him. And
yes,
tell him I'll keep in contact because I really enjoyed his.
absolutely. We're doing a show together on Monday. I will talk
Right,
to him and
brilliant. Thank
tell
you very
him
much for
to
that.
go. Yeah,
There we
and I'm
go
sure
then.
he'd like that. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
here we go.
Thank you so much, John. Sorry
Yeah.
for calling the wrong name. I'm such a dope.
Yeah, you did it. You did it earlier on. I thought I won't say anything now, and then you said it again. I thought I better say. Roger's going to be laughing when he
I'm
sees this.
sorry. I'm so bad at names.
Yeah. So.
Anyway, I do know you're John.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, okay.
I'll
Thank you
speak
so
soon.
much. I'll see you again soon.
Thank you very much. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye. Bye, John.
Bye.